Shalom Wabaraka Mispaka. All praises to Yah, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I have just got this amazing revelation. This is really crazy. You guys will not. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to talk about this. This is 100% undeniable proof. This video should not be this long, alright? It's not going to be that long. It shouldn't even be more than 10 minutes. But I might, because I might get to rambling. But this is 100% undeniable proof that our land is not in the Middle East like they're telling you. 100% undeniable proof. This should be so undeniable that even a Christian should believe this, should understand this, what I'm about to tell you guys. This proof should shake everybody, man. I just realized this today. So, let me show you guys. Let's get right back into it. We got Zechariah chapter 10, verse 10, right? Let's read carefully. I will bring them again also out of the land of Egypt, and gather them out of Assyria, and bring them into the land of Gilead and Lebanon, and place shall not be found for them. Alright? Y'all say he's bringing us out of Egypt and out of Assyria. Is this a future prophecy, or did this already happen? Let's start at verse 8. It says, I will hiss for them, and gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. And I will sow them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children and turn again. Now this part already happened. Y'all already scattered us. It happened recently. This is right now. Y'all scattered us across the countries. He scattered us. He sold us in many different countries, right? And guess what? He said in those countries, we will live with our children and turn again. We will turn back to Yah. Right? But it says in verse 8, I will hiss for them and gather them. Now that part has not happened yet. Soon y'all will gather us, right? Soon y'all will gather us. Now what does verse 10 say? I will bring them again out of the land of Egypt and gather them out of Assyria. Do you think y'all is just joking when he says this? People think y'all be joking. People think y'all is not literal. People think y'all is a liar. But let me tell you, y'all is not a liar. Everything y'all says is truth and is literal. And when I say everything he says is literal, it's because when y'all read Egypt, y'all thinking it's saying something else. Didn't y'all say we would go back to Egypt again in ships in Deuteronomy 28 verse 68? Camp Israelites read that and believe that's talking about something else. Where is the real Egypt? Forget the BS desert over there in Northeast Africa with the new, recent, modern built pyramids and the new, recent, modern drawn hieroglyphics and all those. Forget that, because we never lived there. Let's go back in time and find the ancient real Mizraim. We find the oldest Mizraim artifacts, structures, even mummies in the entire area ranging from west of the Mississippi River, from Louisiana all the way to the Colorado River in Arizona. I'm talking about Louisiana, I'm talking about Texas, I'm talking about Arizona, I'm talking about New Mexico, I'm talking about Oklahoma, I'm talking about Southern Illinois. All of that was ancient Mizraim, the real Egypt. And guess what? A large percent of black people live there. And guess what? The largest slave port in North America, guess where it was at? New Orleans, Louisiana. More slaves were brought on ship. They didn't come from Africa. They did not originate from Africa. Watch Stolen Scrolls. But most of the slaves who actually went on ships went to Louisiana. Slaves were taken from Cuba in the Caribbean and brought to Galveston, Texas. Slaves were taken from Florida. These were indigenous Indians of Florida. And guess where they were brought? To Mexico, which is also a part of Mizraim. Right? And then those same Indians were relocated to Oklahoma, which is also a part of what? Mizraim. So let's understand what Deuteronomy 28:68 was talking about when it said we would go back to Egypt again on ships. That's literal. That's not a metaphor. So let's understand what Zechariah 10:10 is talking about. I will bring them again also out of the land of Egypt and gather them out of Assyria. So we're supposed to be in Egypt and Assyria right now. Y'all said he will bring us to Egypt and Assyria. That's where we will serve our final captivity. Egypt and Assyria. Isaiah chapter 11 verse 11. First we're looking at Zechariah 10:10. Now we're looking at Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Kush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. This is the areas that y'all told us that we will be scattered to if we break his commandments. These are the lands that y'all said we will serve our final captivity. These are the lands that we should be taken out of and be gathered from. And what are the first two mentioned? Assyria and Egypt. If you look and read upon what the Smithsonian, upon what modern scholastics, upon any historical media outlet will tell you that Assyria is, you will find out that they'll tell you Assyria is in the so-called area of the Mesopotamian river valley between the fake Euphrates and the Tigris River, aka Iraq. Iraq? Are most Israelites scattered in Iraq right now? I bet you if I go to Iraq right now, I'm not gonna find one Negro. Unless they fighting over there or stationed over there in military. But I bet you I won't find one Negro who's scattered to Iraq with his family and been there for generations and generations, who actually suffered the curses of Deuteronomy 28. I bet you I won't find it. I bet you if I take a plane ticket right now and went to Egypt over there in Northeast Africa, I'm not gonna find my people out there. I'm gonna find some light-skinned Greek mixed with Africans over there. But I'm not gonna find my people over there who look like me, been there for generations, been slaves over there, who actually are starting to turn back. I bet you I'm not gonna find them. Now look at this. And Pathros. Pathros is a part of Egypt. It's toward the south of Egypt. That's today that will be Mexico. But I bet you that if I go to southern Egypt right now, I'm not gonna find our people. And it said, and from Kush. They tell you that Kush is the country of Ethiopia. The country of Ethiopia. I bet you if I go to the country of Ethiopia, I'm gonna find a lot of people who are dark skinned, very melanated. But guess what? They don't have my traditions. They haven't been enslaved. They haven't suffered any curses. They haven't been scattered to that region. They've been in that region. And a lot of them are light skinned and mixed with Greek as well. But let's not even talk about that. And a lot of them over there are actually Arabs. Same with Egypt. But let's not even talk like that. Let's look at Elam. Guess what? When you try to actually go to the scholastic sources, go to Wikipedia, go to BiblePlaces.org, or go to the Smithsonian and try to find where Elam is, you will see that they say that's in Saudi Arabia. I guarantee you if I go to Saudi Arabia right now, I'm not going to see my people sitting out there. Because our people don't live in Saudi Arabia. Our people not in the Middle East. And it says, and from Shinar. They say that's Iraq. They say that's in Iraq as well. Our people is not in Iraq. Forget the bull and forget the fairy tales. Let's be realistic for a second. You know what Shinar is? Shinar is an area, one of the very first civilizations, also known as Sumer. You know, the same civilization which sprang out Babylon, which sprang out Akkad, which sprang out Ur of the Chaldees. That area is everything east of the Appalachian Mountains, ranging from North Carolina all the way up to Maine and Quebec of Canada. I talked about that in Migration Series 2. And I guarantee you, if I actually go there, I'm gonna find our people. But if I go to the Middle East and I go to Iraq, I'm not gonna find our people. And it said, and from Hamath. Google where Hamath is. You're gonna see some stuff all the way in southern Turkey. I bet you if I go to southern Turkey right now, I'm not gonna find my people, man. I'm not gonna find my people at all. In southern Turkey? Are you serious? And then it said, and from the islands of the sea. That right there is not the controversial part. But if we're in the Middle East, if our land was in the Middle East, and they're talking about the islands of the sea, what they would be talking about? They'd be talking about Greece. They'll be talking about Cyprus. They'll be talking about all those islands right there in the Mediterranean. Our people don't live there. However, what islands are around America? We got Jamaica. We got Haiti, Puerto Rico. We got the Bahamas. Our people all in there. Then when you get to the Isles of the Gentiles even, you get to the UK is an island. And guess what? Even our people are over there. Then when we're talking about Kush, people want to say Kush is modern Ethiopia. It's not. If you want to be honest, Kush is in West Africa. They taught you all lies. If you want to be honest, Kush is also in South America. They taught you all lies. The sea that borders South America was called the Sea of Ethiopia at one point. And the sea that's south of West Africa was also called the Sea of Ethiopia. Ethiopia was bordered by the Gihon River in the book of Genesis 2. The Gihon River split and became the Southern Atlantic Ocean, which now has borders in West Africa called Guinea and Ghana in West Africa, and New Guinea and Guyana in South America. Both border the South Atlantic. Both of those places are Kush. And guess what? You also have Kushite civilization in California, in the land of Havilah, land of gold, because Havilah was one of the children of Kush. So Kush is not in one specific area. Kush is in many areas. I talked about that in my Kushite Empire video. I'll put all those links into my description. This is very plain to see that our land is actually not in the Middle East. So you see, they tell you that every single place mentioned in Isaiah 11:11 or Zechariah 10:10 are in the Middle East. None of those places in the Middle East have an immense population of Negroes who are now returning to Yah and have been enslaved in that area. Therefore, none of those places in the Middle East are the actual locations and have real, actual names. So it's important for us to understand that since none of our people live over there, all those land names are false. Alright? Isaiah 11:11 and Zechariah 10:10 specifically state every landmass Israelites would dwell in their final captivity. And since most Israelites today who are turning back to Yah and have been enslaved are living in the Americas, it would only be a reasonable idea for the places in the Americas to be the actual lands mentioned in Isaiah 11:11 and Zechariah 10:10. At least one place mentioned in those scriptures should be in America. You see, the places in the Middle East do not have our people. The only places where you can find actual descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Central America, West Africa, the UK, and the islands of the sea. But you're not going to find our people in the Middle East. So with that, I'd like to say, Shalom wa barakah, mispakah.